What is up, everybody? You are very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda Aston Villa preview, and the talk around this game is going to be entirely dominated by one thing: Stevie G coming back as Aston Villa manager to Anfield. But we're not going to give him any sympathy. We want to win, don't we? I know, it's going to be a tough one. A lot of people saying to me all week, what if Gerrard does this? What if Gerrard does that? We can't focus on the opposition. We've got to focus on us, and we've got to make sure that we get the job done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the first 10-15 minutes of this stream going through my predicted 11, my score prediction, and then I'm going to dip over to the live chat as well. This prediction is being brought to you, as with many of our shows, by our friends at manscaped.com. Christmas is coming. You might need a little trim down below. It's, we know we trim the turkey, we get rid of all the bits that aren't needed. Make sure this Christmas that you don't embarrass your family, don't embarrass your loved ones. Make sure downstairs or upstairs, because we do have the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, make sure that you're all good to go, my friends. You can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com using our discount code WFM20, and as they say, your balls will thank you. Not the ones on the tree, they might as well, but certainly the ones downstairs. And look, you're massively supporting the channel as well. So WFM20, 20% off and free shipping. And a little bit of housekeeping as well. Myself and James Redmond sat down this week and we had the Houlden debate. It's up on the channel if you want to have a watch of it. I take the stance of trying to say why we would sign Haaland, and trust me, it was very difficult to come up with reasons. And then we go over to the other side where James Redmond says why we won't be signing Haaland. So if you get a chance to have a watch of it, let me know your thoughts on it. It was a fun video to record, and we're going to do one next week as well around Bellingham. And you know what side of that I'm taking. I'm taking the pro Bellingham side for that one, there's no doubt about it. So look, let's get straight into this. Villa are in a good vein of form. Under Steven Gerrard, they've only lost one game. That game, I think of my memory was Manchester City, which is no embarrassment. Losing to Manchester City, who are in a great run of form, is certainly nothing to moan about. But I wonder how he's going to come and try and set Aston Villa up to play. Obviously, under him, John McGinn will come on leaps and bounds, with Gary Mack as well. Ollie Watkins starting to look good up top, and they'll eventually get Danny Ings back from injury as well. So it's going to be a difficult game, but I'm not as worried as a lot of people seem to be around this one. I'm fairly confident that we'll get the job done. I'm not ignoring all the live chat, by the way. I absolutely will come over to that in a few minutes. So if you're watching this back later on and you just want to know about the preview part, the first 10 minutes or so is all you need. The rest of it will be me just interacting with people. And again, tonight myself and James Redmond will be live at 8:45, so I hope you can come over and watch that one. But most importantly, if you want to do us a little bit of help, you want to help support the channel without putting your hand in your pocket, get yourself over to Twitch and give Anfield Agenda a follow. We launched on there in the last week. We've got over 1,200 followers on Twitch already. We'd love to push that number up, and we will be making at least 20 hours, probably a lot more than that, of Twitch only content, which is of course entirely free. But if you do use Twitch, please do go over and give us a watch. Right, let's get stuck into this one, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to start off with my score prediction for the game, because it wasn't easy. But this is what I've gone with. Let me just get it clicked into the right one. 1 second. There we go. Right, this is what I've gone with for the score prediction. 2-0. 2-0. I know. Nice and straightforward. It's going to be an intriguing game. Saturday 3 p.m.s are a bit of a rarity in this day and age, although we've had I think this is our third one in 4 weeks or something like that. I'm expecting Steven Gerrard to come to set Aston Villa up to be rigid, to be dogged, to be difficult to break down, and to play on the counter-attack. They do have an awful lot of pace in their side, particularly. I'm not sure what the situation is with Leon Bailey. Is he injured? Is he available? I actually don't know off the top of my head. If he is available, we've got to worry about his pace in behind. But one thing we've done on the Jurgen Klopp and almost perfected is the high line. It is a thing of beauty when we get it right. The question though is, who starts at centre back for this one alongside Van Dijk to help with that defensive line? I spent a good time thinking about it, because Ibrahima Konaté's performance at the San Siro was sensational, as was Nico Williams, by the way. I thought Nico Williams was absolutely excellent. So I thought both of those guys did themselves no harm whatsoever. That being said, I do think we will probably revert back to type. So this is what I think is going to happen with regards to the starting lineup. Obviously, I think Alisson in goal. That's going to happen, no doubt about it. But I can't see anything other than Joel Matip coming back in alongside Virgil van Dijk. A lot of people are going to go, no, Craig, got to play Konaté. I get you, I hear you. And Konaté will eventually get to the point where he is a starting centre-half for Liverpool. But right now, I still think that position is Joel Matip's, and I think he's not really put a foot wrong this season. So for me, Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip. Moving into the full-back areas, again, no change. Andy Robertson at left-back, Trent Alexander-Arnold at right-back. Costas, again, put in a decent shift away at the San Siro. Wasn't his greatest game, wasn't his worst game either. Pretty steady. Nico Williams, I really do feel for Nico, I have to say, because he is progressing. There's no doubt about it. Nico Williams is becoming a better player every time we watch him. You know, I think the confidence he gained from being with that Welsh team as well over the Euros and the qualifying campaign that they had, I think that's stood him in very good stead. I wonder if Nico Williams will move on because of the lack of opportunities. Conor Bradley is available. Milner can play at right back. Gomez can play at right back. Fabinho with a pinch can play at right back. So I wonder what happens long term with Nico. But for now, got to go with Trent and Robbo. Moving into midfield, again, it almost picks itself. I know we have Oxlade-Chamberlain. I know Naby Keita is back as well. But for me, that midfield trio right there, they're the best midfielders we have at the club right now. So I think it's Fabinho, Thiago Alcantara and Jordan Henderson, exactly as we were. Up top, again, Bobby Firmino's working his way back to fitness, but I still don't think we're going to see any change. I think it's going to be Sadio Mane on the left, Mohamed Salah on the right, and this gentleman, Diogo Jota, through the middle. Very difficult at the minute because Origi has been brilliant recently. His goal scoring form has come to life. Sadio Mane isn't having his best time on the left hand side, and I think if Bobby Firmino was fit and available, I could probably make an argument for pushing Diogo over to the left hand side and rotating Sadio Mane. But I think the best thing we can do with Sadio right now is to try and play him back into form. Not that he's in his worst form. I'm not trying to make it out here like Sadio Mane is rubbish, but he hasn't quite hit the heights that he knows he's able to do, and that's the fairest way I think I can be about it. And I also wonder, is he not feeling the love? Because all the talk has been around the club about Mohamed Salah, his contract extension, but we've forgotten about Bobby Firmino, we've forgotten about Sadio Mane, who are in the exact same predicament that Mohamed Salah is. But of course all the media focus will be on Mo, so I'm hoping that Sadio Mane isn't feeling left out, because certainly from me and many other Liverpool fans, we absolutely idolise our Senegal attacker. And yeah, look, I did like the comments from his manager Cisse about Jurgen Klopp not really respecting African football in the competition. I thought that was a bit underhanded, but that's not down to Sadio. So I think that's the team that takes to the pitch against Aston Villa. I think we beat them 2-0, as I said. Could be anything, to be fair. Trying to predict a Liverpool scoreline this season is nigh on impossible, because I think there's only been 2 games now in the entire season we haven't scored at least 2 or more goals in. So I'm backing us to return to the levels that we were and start scoring 2 more again. So yeah, for me, 2-0. I don't think it's going to be an easy afternoon. I'm looking forward to seeing Stevie G back. Paddy Murphy's over in Liverpool at the minute, by the way. If anybody's over there sees him, do go up and say hello to him. He's going to be at the game. James Redmond will be at the game as well. And those guys will be sending us in some post-match content as well around that one. So look, that's pretty much where I am with the team selection and with regards to my score prediction. So if you're watching this right now, this is probably the point where you say, right, that's all of it done, and I will jump over now to the live chat and interact with people and see how you guys are feeling for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. So yeah, let me know what you're thinking. Right, what have we got? Time to pension off James Milner, said Alun. I think at the end of the season, mate, there will certainly be a conversation around James Milner. It's so difficult though, isn't it? Because we all love Jimmy Milner. We all absolutely idolise the man, but Father Time waits for nobody, not even the Benjamin Button of football. And what gets me is that he's in a good chunk of wages, and I wonder, with the club being as frugal as they are, would James Milner be one of those that they look at that are, and this is not my word really, but expendable to some extent. So I think we probably will see Jimmy Milner move on at the end of the season. Interesting, actually. I was reading an article earlier on around the Mohamed Salah contract situation. Look, we'll get into that in more detail tonight with myself and James, but I didn't realise that Virgil van Dijk's new contract made him the highest paid player at the club. I have to admit, I didn't know that. I thought the highest paid player at the club was still Mo Salah. I thought the contract that Van Dijk signed had brought him up on parity with what Mo was on, which was believed to be around 200 grand a week. So On them, there you go. And Mohamed Salah currently being the 5th highest paid player in world football. That must be with sponsorship and bonuses and all of this stuff as well. Because again, to what we're led to believe or what's been put out there, his base salary, Mo, is around about 200 grand a week, something like that. But look, I don't know what way the club have incentivised his contracts, because we do know with FSG, incentives are something that's built into a lot of the Liverpool lads' contracts. So we'll wait and see. Is Origi on the subs bench? Yes, Divok's got to be on the super sub. Divok, he's got to be on the subs bench, 100%. Milner can do a job though, said Rafter. Yeah, he can. Give him a coaching job, said Alan. Look, if he wants a coaching job, I'm sure a coaching job will be there. I mean, I remember reading a piece during the week from who was it wrote the piece? Was it? I'm not sure if it was Quiva or if it was James. I think it might have been James Pearce anyway. And the piece said that it would be ideal. Basically, James made the point that it would be absolutely spot on if Milner did progress, and what he would give back to the youth and the younger players coming through would be invaluable. So I'm all for James Milner if he wanted to hang up his boots at the end of the season, because I'm sure that he could still go and play for a season or two elsewhere and probably, get enough game time to keep him happy. But if he decided that it was time to hang up his boots and he wasn't really able to play top level, him as a coach of the club would be amazing. Absolutely, I've no argument with that. A bit of code, a bit of homework, and a sweet bit of Mr. Craig. Love it, Mr. Chowdhury. Thank you very much, sir. Milner is better than Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oh, it's a big statement, that, Bill. I mean, I've got to stick up for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain here, because Chris won't respect me if I don't. I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is really done well this season when he's been called upon. Now, I'm not saying he's the same player that was tearing up the Champions League that season when we made it to the final and he did his ACL in the game against Roma. He's not at that form, but one thing I've noticed this season from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I've said it multiple times, is defensively he is far more astute than he used to be, and you can see that Jurgen Klopp has finally got an impression on him of what he needs in the system, what Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain needs to do. Because like James Milner, he's been another man that hasn't really ever nailed down one particular role in this Liverpool squad. We've seen him as a midfielder, we've seen him as a wide forward, we've seen him as a wing back, we've seen him as a false nine. And it's that versatility, like James Milner, that can sometimes come back to haunt Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. But I do have to give him credit. I think he's been very good this season. His fitness hasn't been an issue. He's been available for the last over 50 games, I think. So yeah, look, I've no issues with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at the minute. I'm actually pretty happy with how he's playing, to be honest. Bertie reckons Milner will end up at Leeds if they manage to stay up. I don't know if they'd be able to afford him though, Bertie. That's the only thing. I mean, look, I'm sure James Milner would probably take a little bit of a cut in wages to go and play with Leeds, but I don't know. I've seen some talk actually on Calvin Phillips saying that he wouldn't go to Manchester United because of the rivalry, obviously, with Leeds, and he wouldn't want the Leeds fan base to hate him. And we were mentioning that conversation, but to the best of my knowledge, and for the people that I've spoken to, I don't believe that Liverpool hold an interest in Calvin Phillips. But it's always good to hear that a player turns down United or doesn't want to go to United. That always makes us happy, doesn't it? What have we got? At the same time, Villa did put up a fight against City. Barry, look, it's going to be a difficult game. I'm by no means the 2-0 scoreline. It's me being respectful here, because I do think Aston Villa are going to come under Steven Gerrard, be rigid, be difficult to break down, and try and use the pace on the counter-attack. Ollie Watkins has been in decent goal-scoring form lately. John McGinn is a cracking player and will only get better under the tutelage of Steven Gerrard, and Gary McAllister there, and Michael Beale, of course, as well. So, look, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a hard game. I've nothing but respect for Aston Villa, even before Gerrard went there as a club. In fact, they were my father's club. And look, I say that very loosely because my dad was a pretty fair weather fan, in fairness now. But yeah, so I'm expecting a difficult game, but I do expect it will get the job done, because I think that we're in a really good place at the minute. And I was so impressed with the squad changes that we made for the game at the San Siro. But yeah, how seamlessly the lads went about keeping the system and playing the way. We speak about, at times, directors of football and bringing in football philosophies into a football club, but you can really see already the brilliance of Jurgen Klopp, of Pep Linders, of the entire coaching staff at keeping the philosophy, the gegenpressing system, the way that we play right throughout the club. So if somebody like Nico comes in, if Conor Bradley comes in, they're ready, they're up to speed, they're ready to go. It's a thing of beauty, and I think it's something that we don't or shouldn't take for granted. Because let's look at United as an example now. Ranić has come in there. He's trying to get them to play, I'll call it a gegenpress light, because he's not going to get those lads up to speed to be able to do it in the time that he's there. But you can see how appreciative we should be of the fact that we can interchange players and the drop-off is minimal. We look back a few seasons ago and the drop-off was quite steep when we had to rotate. And if anything, it's kind of made me a bit more optimistic about how we'll be able to cope when the lads are at the AFCON, because I've been so proud of the group this year. I have. Look, we've all had our moments where we've moaned and bitched about specific incidents or players, but as a whole, what a way to come back from last season. Again, the team are just answering their critics week in and week out. You know, we were projected by a lot of people to be fighting for a Champions League place this season. And here we are up the top of the table fighting Manchester City and Chelsea for the Premier League title after sailing through the Champions League group stage. First English team to ever win 6 games from 6. I couldn't be happier, honestly. I couldn't be. The Vibe said, love you, Craig. Love you too, man. Thank you very much. Do I think that Ronaldo will go to another club after United or retire? I'm intrigued to see what would happen if United don't get Champions League football. I mean, I would make them favourites for the 4th spot, personally. I think that they'll probably do just enough to get it. But, like, would we all be upset if West Ham got it? No, we'd be very happy. So if that was the case, if Cristiano Ronaldo had to stare down the barrel of a Europa League campaign at Manchester United, I wonder. But then again, that's a double-edged sword, because I kind of want them to stay there. Because I don't want them to get Ronaldo's wages off the books and go out there and bring in somebody who's actually going to be able to help them for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. What have we got? Sometimes the question is asked, is the GAA you're talking about when football is the subject? No, never. And I won't use the S word to describe football. To me, it's football. It'll always be football. Won't call it soccer. Won't call it anything. It's football. Ronaldo will go back to Sporting, said Bertie. I don't know, mate. I think he'll go to the MLS. I think Ronaldo will end up either Inter Miami or somewhere like that. And I think Pep Guardiola, I know this sounds like a big thing, but I think when Pep leaves Manchester City, he goes to New York City. And you're going to go to me, Craig, that's fucking ridiculous. Look into how much time he spent there in his sabbatical. That is something that they're going to try and push next. And if they could get Pep Guardiola to go manage New York City FC, the profile of the MLS would grow overnight, to be fair. Mane contract situation. Quite frankly, mate, as far as I know, there hasn't been any talks. That's the latest that I know. And the same with Bobby Firmino. And this is what I touched on at the start of the video as well when I was talking about Sadio Mane's form. It must be very difficult for him, and same with Bobby, because you look at the media, and today, yesterday, the day before, it's all been dominated by Mohamed Salah and his contract situation. But Sadio Mane is right to sit up and say, well, hang on, I've been a huge part of this club's success as well. So the honest answer is, I don't know what his contract situation is. I don't know if he will be offered new terms, and I don't know if they will be decent terms or not. But somebody will move. That much I'm pretty confident about. Somebody will leave the club. I think next summer? You know, I probably would push for next summer to say that I think so, because I don't think that Liverpool are going to want to let another player go on a free. And that's what we'd be facing on the barrel of if we were to, you know, keep Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mane and the current deals not extend. Both of them leaving for free? Don't know about that. I think somebody will be offered a new deal. Don't ask me who, though, because I honestly haven't got a clue outside of Mo. Will Firmino be on the bench on Saturday? I don't believe so, but don't quote me on that. I'll have more information on that one for you later. Right, what else we got? Have I heard the man who saved the face of football? He's a Dundalk lad. No, I haven't, Bill. No, I haven't. But, you know, I saved football. Let's get that out there, mate. Very important. I brought the Super League down single-handedly. Didn't you hear, sir? Right, where's someone said good point, Josh? Let's go and find Josh's point and let's have a quick chat about it. Hey, Martin, how are you? Lovely to see you win again. Right, where is it? Where was Josh's point about something? Let's have a little look. Where's the point? Can't see it anywhere. Must have missed it. I think Liverpool's identity is pressing for years to come. It is, but we need to have we need to evolve to have the next group of players coming through, because look, we'll get a few more years out with some of these guys, of course we will. But, you know, with the likes of Tyler Morton, Nico Williams at the minute, Connor Bradley, Musialowski, who, by the way, scored again in the Under-19s Champions League. Who else we got coming through? Curtis Jones, who'll be back soon as well. The club are just waiting for the go-ahead from the medical department for Curtis Jones to get back playing. I did notice that as well. Connor said, love that there's a new Lon Voider in the chat. Yeah, I noticed that myself as well. Origi say football. Well, I can't argue with that, Rafter, mate. I can't. You're right. I can't argue with it. I'm very good. It's Gallo Brothers. Very good. Shamron Show said, Craig is the man who knocked out the Super League. Exactly. Yeah. 4 hours worth of streaming, 13,000 subscribers in 2 days. That was a mad old time. That was. It was nuts. Harvey won't be back anytime soon, Dylan. I mean, I know people are encouraged seeing Harvey Elliott out there doing running and intensifying his rehab, but in truth, there's still a lot to do, and that's why I spoke about a really, really good article written by James Pearce and The Athletic the other day that lays out exactly the stages of Harvey Elliott's recovery. But one thing that shone through in that article was how professional Harvey Elliott has been from his time at the football club. And look, we know the lovely story of the young lad he gave his shirt to in the A&E after he did his ankle. But again, it goes into how quickly. I think it was within 30 seconds. The club's doctors had got onto the pitch and had his ankle pushed back into place. And that might not sound like a big deal, but the article goes on to say that the reason it is a big deal is because every second that the ankle is out of place, the risk of more damage to the tendons and surrounding areas and tissue increases. So by the club's doctors being as quick as they were, they probably limited how long Harvey Elliott will be out for, which again just goes to show you why it's important that the club have such fantastic medical staff involved, and they probably don't get the respect that they deserve, because you think right back to the days with Djibril Cissé as well. I mean, Djibril Cissé spoke about how they basically saved his leg from that really bad break. So yeah, big shout out there to the medical department again for looking after the players in such a great way. Be January before Harvey Elliott really gets back into it. Yeah, and that's if there isn't any setbacks, because I've spoken about it before. Anybody who's gone through rehab themselves will be able to tell you that as you start to put more weight on and as you start to change direction and stuff like this, you can have secondary injuries that can cause little setbacks along the way. So it's important that the club take the time with Harvey. You know, he's going to be a Liverpool player for many years to come. So look, they'll get it right. They won't rush the lad, and when we get him back, it'll be another great addition to the squad, because he started off the season fantastically well. Do you realistically think we can sign Bellingham? Yes. Look, I know people think I'm deluded. I'm well aware of it, and I can understand it. But I'm telling you, I'm absolutely convinced we sign Bellingham. Now, I won't tell you when, because I don't know. I don't know if I would be very surprised if we did it next summer. I have to say, I would be very surprised. But I do think that Jude Bellingham, the year after that perhaps, will end up at Liverpool. I do. I know there's been talk from Dortmund as well, by the way, about the fact that they have no intentions of letting him go. They're talking about bringing his brother across as well. And look, I don't blame them. They've got a fine player on their hands. Absolute quality. But for us, I think he'll end up at Liverpool. I do. Harvey Elliott versus Tyler Morton versus Curtis Jones. They're all different midfielders though. Like Curtis Jones, his preferred position is probably drifting in off the left hand side of midfield, maybe behind the attacking three. Tyler Morton being a more deep lying regista type midfielder, you know, that defensive midfielder situation. Then Harvey Elliott looks like he's going to be playing off the right hand side of midfield. So again, all different midfielders with different attributes. And again, Curtis Jones could be played a little bit further forward if needed be, as could Harvey Elliott. Goldbridge or Robbie from AFTV? 100 million % Goldbridge. Right, what else have we got? Shout out to Mo as well and the staff for that shit as well, said Caden. Yeah, don't know what we're shouting him out for, but yeah, let's go. He is going to come, said Nathan Evans. I know, and it's going to be I don't brag much, Nathan, but when he comes to Liverpool, Yes, I'm going to be unbearable. More unbearable than normal, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. Bellingham and Harvey duo with Fabinho behind them, said Dan. Yeah, it's tasty, isn't it? How's my dog doing? He's fine. He's fast asleep on the sofa over there beside me, mate. Snoring his little head off. It was really cute earlier on. Himself and Lucas were both fast asleep on the sofa. And what's going through Gerrard's mind right now? And look, Gerrard's a pro. You know, he's been in these type of situations numerous times before, so I'm sure Stevie G will be fine. And I'm sure he's looking forward to coming back to Anfield, even as an opposition manager. Who do I think has a brighter future out of the three? Without even batting an eyelid, mate, Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott is a very, very special footballer. Curtis Jones is an amazing talent, but Harvey Elliott is ridiculously good. So yeah, I'm going to say 100% Harvey Elliott. But look, this was always going to be a quick one, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to leave it there. If you could do me a massive favour, anybody who's watching this, a huge favour, do go over to Twitch and give us a follow, because we have a 3-month holding trial with Twitch. If that goes well, this could push our channel onto the next level. More contributors, more content, new studio, so much stuff. So please do go across to Twitch, give us a follow on there, let your friends know we're on Twitch. We're going to be doing exclusive content on there as well. So yeah, look, I'm going to love you and leave you, but I'll be back at 8:45 tonight with James Redmond, and we'll go through everything that you want to talk about. We'll talk about the Salah contract situation. We'll talk about the game of the weekend. We'll have a look back over the possible opponents for Liverpool in the last 16 of the Champions League, and lots of other stuff as well. So look, thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to our sponsors, Manscaped. Don't forget you can get 20% off and free shipping. Anything store-wide at manscaped.com using our discount code WFM20. Maybe you want a stocking filler, maybe you want a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, or body wash with aloe vera and sea salt, because yeah, we are that way men nowadays, we really are. And yeah, maybe you want to just trim the old eyebrows like me, but hey, I will talk to you at 8:45 folks. Lots of love, see you soon.